All right, what is good, YouTube? How's everybody doing? It's your boy Aziz, rhymes with disease, back for another video, and I hope everybody is doing great on this Thursday. First video of the week, but we're making sure to stay consistent. Apologies for lack of uploads the past couple of days, but I'm always making sure that I get those uploads out. I'm gonna try and stay as consistent as possible, but I'm also making sure that I put out the best quality of content there is, because a lot of guys need these motivational talks. A lot of guys need these raw personal videos that just let them know that you're not the only one out there. I am not perfect. I am far from perfect, but at the end of the day, I understand that the goals that I have in mind, becoming a successful YouTuber, becoming a big inspiration to not only myself, but those around me and the younger generation behind me and my current generation, I need to do all the things that are going to put me in the best position possible. And one of those things that I need to do is, which is going to be the topic of these videos, is stop chasing women. That's one thing for me personally that I'm going to 100% stop doing, and I'm going to more focus on not only making myself as attractive as possible, but also trying to attract the women that I like. Because at the end of the day, I've seen how in many instances that a lot of guys will settle for the girls that they have, even though that may not necessarily be the girl that they want or the girl that they are currently in love with. I know, because a lot of guys lack options when it comes to partners and women in general, they tend to just gravitate or stick with what's currently in their vicinity. And what I mean by that is a lot of guys will take disrespect from their girlfriend or wife, and they will choose to not go after the girls that they want because they currently have somebody who they are either with or not doing what they're supposed to be doing to make themselves more attractive so that the person that they like can be attracted to them. That's why you have things like OnlyFans on the rise. There is no reason why OnlyFans should be successful when you really sit down and think about it. So this is literally OnlyFans. For example, let's use Summer Rae. I don't think she has an OnlyFans, but let's just use Summer Rae as an example. Summer Rae, let's say I'm attracted to her and I want to date her. But because I don't have access to her and I don't believe that I'm able to attract her, my coping skills or coping mechanism for being able to be around her is buying her OnlyFans, looking at her naked body and touching myself, pleasuring myself, thinking that I'm having some type of interaction with her mentally. That is not only sad, but it is also something that's going to hinder you from not only approaching more women, but doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because at the end of the day, that for men is the momentary satisfaction that a lot of us like to get, including myself in the past. Those are the things that we like to do in order to make us feel better due to the lack of things that we have currently in our own life. A lot of guys want to be able to be attractive to the most women as possible. They want to be able also to do what they want to in terms of looking good, being attractive to not only the girl that they're with, but to also multiple women. But at the same time, because they're choosing not to do the things that they're supposed to be doing, and also due to the certain aspects of things that we've been told as men growing up. For example, you have to be a gentleman, you have to treat women with respect, you have to open the doors. All these things that we are basically told that we have to do as men hinder us from not only doing what we're supposed to be doing, but they hinder us from doing what we feel like doing, because we feel like there's some societal pressure or social norm that a lot of men are supposed to go by. When in reality, if you want to be the best man that you can possibly be, you quite literally not only have to work on yourself, but you have to be selfish with the things that you want for yourself. At the end of the day, and I've said this on my TikTok, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, you will not be able to get anything out of life if you don't put in the work to get it yourself. A lot of times people expect the world to give them certain things, or they expect things to go their way or act a certain way because of either how they grew up or what they've been told. And I'm here to tell you that a lot of the sayings that you hear most people saying, they're very wrong. That's why you see a lot of people doing things the way they do and not being satisfied with the life that they currently have, because they're being told the wrong things. And a lot of guys have been told the wrong thing growing up. I'm telling you right now, because I've been subject to doing this. You don't need to be a nice guy in the sense that you don't have to go out your way to do things for women and be kind to women. You do not 100% have to go out of your way to do that, because at the end of the day, they are normal people just like you. And those same women you'll go out of your way to do something for will be the same women you'll question why they don't treat you a certain way. So that's why you need to have respect for people, but not go out of your way to be nice to people. You don't always have to hold the door for women. I'm sorry to say, and as somebody who loves being a gentleman, me respectfully, I'm not just gonna hold the door open for a woman just because I'm holding the door open for her. And if I do hold the door open for women, which I will try to do all the time, it's only for women who are the same, who are like adults, just like my mother, or elderly women. If you're not a little girl, if you're not a grown woman who could be possibly a mother or a grandma, I'm not holding the door open for you, because there's no reason for me to, because that subconsciously is making me do things that I don't need to do and act in a way I don't need to act. At the end of the day, and this is going to sound very harsh, a lot of young women and a lot of women both in their 30s to 40s do not have respect for the men of today's day and age. Why? Because they were not raised in a way to be able to have the respect for the men that they are around or have in their lives, because a lot of them don't have respect for their current boyfriends, they don't have respect for their fathers, and they don't have respect for the men that are currently around them most of the time. That is very bad, and that's why you see a lot of women very easily and openly disrespecting men. Not saying that men don't disrespect women, but that's why you as a man need to understand yourself, you need to understand women, and you need to understand how the world works, so you don't put yourself in a situation where you're wondering why things are happening in a way that they shouldn't, because you think things should be happening in a certain way because of what you've been told when growing up. I'm here to tell you that a lot of the things you were told growing up are wrong. That's why when you see certain things happening the way that they do, you get frustrated and you're sitting there wondering why this is happening the way that it is. I, for example, have been like that my whole life, in the sense that I was always told that be a gentleman, be nice to women, and basically do all X, Y, and Z for girls. But at the same time, I have not in any way, shape, or form gotten the results that I've wanted from women. I am 25, still single, never had a girlfriend, and I can definitely say that's been one of the biggest challenges in my life when it comes to approaching and understanding women. At the end of the day, I can definitely say I understand to a certain extent how women behave, but doing certain acts, behaving in a certain way as a man is not going to get you a girlfriend. You need to understand yourself, and you quite literally need to be selfish. There is a reason why nice guys don't win, and there's a reason why girls pick the quote unquote assholes that they do. It's because those men aren't really trying hard to prove anything to those girls, and those men at the same time do not care if those girls are with them or not. So that's why you need to not put any woman except for your mom or grandma in the forefront. Your girlfriend or the girl that you like, yes, they can be a priority, but they're not the number one priority. You don't need to do the most to make them happy. You don't have to go out of your way to always please them, because at the end of the day, your happiness is your own responsibility. Just like her happiness is her own responsibility. Yes, you can add to her happiness, but you are not responsible for keeping her happy. That is not your job. You were not born to make sure that somebody else other than yourself is happy. So that's why as a man, you need to understand yourself. You need to not only understand what you need to do, but you also need to currently and always be consistent in the actions that will get you the things that you want. If you know you're a guy like me who wants to become the most attractive version of yourself, you have to be in the gym. You have to be working on yourself. You have to be mentally smart. You have to be emotionally stable, and you have to be doing all the things that will make you as attractive as possible. And you have to put yourself in the most attractive viewpoint as possible, because at the end of the day, the goals that you have will not get to them if you don't put in the necessary effort, if you do not take the skills that are needed, and if you do not develop the personality or the type of person that you want to be to become attractive. You need to do all the things that will get you the goals that you have, whether it's in business, whether it's academics, or whether it's with relationships. There are certain aspects of each thing that you can do personally to improve, and you need to make sure you're doing those things. If you're not doing those things, you cannot complain about what you don't get. Me, as I'm making this video, I'm making sure that I take my own advice, because at the end of the day, I am somebody who slips up and does not focus all the time on what I need to do. But because I understand that the goals that I have will not be accomplished if I don't put in the necessary effort, that's why I'm always reminding myself that I need to get it in gear, I need to get out of my bed, and I need to not be lazy. I need to stop thinking about what I want to do and start doing what I want to do. Because as I do what I want to do, I will get better at what I want to do. Same thing with content creation, same thing with getting women, and same thing with the gym. As long as I'm focusing on getting better at these tasks each and every day, I will get to the goals that I have. And if you're somebody who needs help getting to those goals, drop a comment, drop a follow on my Instagram, on my TikTok, and on my Snapchat. Send me a private DM and I will help you with any aspect that you have. I will help you with the fitness, I will help you with your relationships, and I will help you with your mindset. Those are the 3 things that I'm able to do because I've been able to tackle the challenges that a lot of guys have in these areas and become successful myself. At the end of the day, it's a work in progress. We all need to not only better ourselves, but we need to put out the information and help each other to become the best version as possible that we each individually can be. Because we all have personal goals, we all have different goals. But the only way for you to become the best version of yourself is for you to work on those individual personal goals that you have and do what you can to get better at each task. Be in the gym, consistently focus on your diet, always make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and not only understand yourself, but understand the people around you so that you do not have certain issues that other people have. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.